You thought you'd catch me. You believed, like every other gluttonous braggart that steps foot in my territory, that I might be something for you to use. Something by which I might solve your problems, which couldn't have been of your own doing. Things that were fated to fall upon you. But how could I do anything but writhe whenever you blunder through the woods or wasted breath speaking? Every twig you place your weight on and snap is another broken bone in my legs. Every tree that's etched into is a piece of my own flesh you carve to make your mark. Every drop of water you rob from me is my lifeblood that fuels me. Every breath of air you suck into your meat sacks is what I have given you from my own lungs. You believe that the forest and I are different somehow, and stake your lives on it, on hunting, on the game. You want game? I will give you a game.
Hey everybody. Welcome back to the final ring of the Unicorn Hunt. My name is Andre. You can find me at Andre Vera Art on mostly Twitter, and here on Total Party Kiss, and on the Welcome In. I am the co-GM of this incursion.
Hello. I am Alex. I use he, him, and they, them pronouns. I am the other co-GM of the Unicorn Hunt. You can find me most places, Twitter at Alder_Mancy, other places at Aldermancy. We're creating games at Sword Ghost on itch.io and Ko-fi, and of course here on Total Party Kiss, GMing Strange Hunkers.
Hi everybody! My name's Christian, aka Fluffy Goomba. On several socials, pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing Archimedes Shonma, also goes by he, him.
Hi everybody, my name is Sloan, aka Artplebe, my pronouns are they, them, and tonight I am playing Talia, she, her.
Hello, my name is Serenity. You can find me as Clickety Clack Snack all over TikTok, and you can find me on Twitter as well. Or you can find me here on Total Party Kiss, DMing Tragedy of Theologian. I go by she, any pronouns, and I will be playing Vesla, who goes by any and no pronouns.
Hi, I'm Dylan, or Super Dylan everywhere on the internet. You can find me here sometimes on the Welcome In, and tonight I'm ruined.
Fantastic. Last we left off, our three surviving party members, Talia, Vesla, and Archimedes, have been rounded up and brought to the atrium, the sort of sacred grove that houses the unicorn. The unicorn has revealed himself unto these three after teasing them slightly last ring. By speaking through the corpse trapped in amber that was once Snipes, one of their hired hands. But now you see before you the same woody, knock-kneed, chameleon-like figure before you. The unicorn sort of cocks its head, looking at all three of you kind of simultaneously, and you all feel the burning of his eyes, like through your body. As if somehow more acidic than any alcohol you've ever ingested or put on your skin. It feels corrosive.
Hello.
You don't look like a unicorn.
That's unfortunate for you.
Kind of look like a chameleon. And a pug. But taller.
Perhaps in time, you might know who I truly am.
Because you're not the unicorn.
I am the unicorn.
I was just trying to leave, so if I could get back on my way, I simply want to leave your beautiful forest, and go outside?
Soon.
Okay. Need help with something or something like that?
No.
Do you have
What
thumbs?
we will be
Need
what
thumbs?
we will be playing.
Playing what?
A game.
Like we played in the hunt. I understand.
I don't. What kind of game? Like Twister?
You three have won. You came here to find the unicorn. And you found me. Congratulations.
Shit, I guess we did.
I'm sorry, I'm not what you wanted.
I mean, just not what we expected, certainly. She, like, looks back and forth between her two compatriots. Like,
It's
but not... I mean, I'm sure you are. I mean, just as magical and skilled at things.
It's more interesting this way. Humans like to romanticize quite a bit. So, it was fun.
I just need your help. I don't care what form you take it.
Is your blood actually gold? Like real gold? Or does it just look gold? This is pure curiosity. I'm not planning on doing anything about it.
Then I guess you'll never know.
Okay.
The game we're going to play is called The Unicorn Hunt.
Game's
Here's
over.
how we play.
You said the name.
You three have found me here in my abode. And you are very, very far from the outside of the Bloodwood. You have a ways to go, and several obstacles to face along the way. But I am giving you a chance to leave. You have a 30-minute head start.
Head start for what?
To leave. And then I get to play.
Okay.
I think at this time, Archimedes just looks up at the sky. Are there stars out in the sky right now?
It is a... Oh, hold on.
Oh, thank you.
It is a gorgeous night, accented by an almost full moon that is just beginning to wane.
Gotcha.
There are plenty of stars in the sky.
Okay. I think just looking back at the unicorn, he just goes. So, this is all in his head because he can't speak out loud. So he's just like, so we play, and our prize is we get to live.
It's the game of life.
I knew this was a dead end. And he immediately, following the stars, plots a way to get the fuck out of this place.
Are we starting now? When do we start?
Not yet. Hold on. You're so eager. You are free to do as you wish in the woods. Use whatever means necessary to survive. And... oh.
And in each of your heads, you individually hear.
And if you, Archimedes, and if you, Talia, and if you, Vesla, manage to sabotage the other two, I will focus on them rather than you. And then back to speaking to everybody. Now, does anyone have any questions?
Does this mean you're holding off the huntsman and anyone else that works for you until that 30 minutes starts?
Maybe.
What are their rules? We have our own rules of the game, and as do you. I assume if they play along, they should have some sort of rules.
I am offering a courtesy to you, the solicitors, because I believe in fairness, in knowing what is coming to you. The huntsmen, or the hounds, or the knight, or the slugs, or the artery, they have their own morals. You'll need to ask them. But I'm afraid you won't have enough time to be asking those sorts of questions when you meet them.
I would like to hold a ritual for when the unicorn says to go.
Cool.
All right.
I would like to add one more thing for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Archimedes, if you win this game against your fellow competitors, your trip will not be in vain. I will give you rest and peace with your condition. Talia, if you win, you will become the greatest hunter and the finest pack leader the world has ever seen. Vesla, if you win, you will become a repository of knowledge so vast that no library will compare to your mind. I'm gonna hand it over to Alex.
You all have 30 minutes.
All right.
I run very fast. I run very fast out of there.
Can I do my ritual that I was holding?
Yes.
I'm going to use my ritual void. And keep everyone in my sight line. I'm running with everyone. Because with void, as long as I stay silent, it prevents any ritual from being casted in my presence.
Interesting. Will you give me just a risk roll? So you're just going to... Sorry, not just a risk roll. Give me a ruin roll. So you're going to roll a d6 and try and get, I believe, below your ruin.
And then, is there any devil's bargains with this or no?
If you would like, someone would like to offer you a devil's bargain, they are welcome to do so.
I'm not sure because I did also want to use my ritual to cast transformation on myself to just go further into turning into a full wolf.
So that would sort of count.
So you don't want to help me. That's fair.
I might have a devil's bargain for you.
Okay.
You take an extra light die, but if your ritual goes off, Nope. Actually, never mind. I take it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to get under my ruin.
Yes. So for this, you are going to roll one dark die, and you're trying to roll under your current ruin.
Is it... I have a devil's bargain.
Yeah.
You're trying to maintain a ritual. I think that you move a little bit slower than everyone else.
I already rolled the dice, so I don't think it'd be fair for me to take it.
Fair enough.
Unfortunately. Because I rolled it right when you said ah.
I mean, that's up to the game managers.
It's up to you guys.
If you'd like to take an additional light die, remember that adding a light die, if you get that light die to be higher than your dark die, then it will basically counter the effect. So, if you want to add a light die, you're welcome to.
Well, I rolled a 3, so I should be okay.
Okay. All right. Then you do not gain an additional ruin from that.
Just take off.
Yeah.
And running as well. Just staying silent.
3 of you are running. Here in the atrium, the trees are massive, as we've described before. You can't see around the other side of them. Some of them are 20, 30, 40 feet across. You are dwarfed by the size of these boughs. There is a steady dripping from far above in the canopy. You can see the night sky here in the heart of the forest, but as you turn and run away from the strange creature, you instead turn back to the thick curtain of white hair, sticky with amber, instead turn back to massive boulders of some kind of honey material, instead thick pulsing vines of green. In order to navigate your way back through the edge of the atrium, I am going to require risk rolls from all of you.
Boy.
Now, keep in mind, you guys are sort of working together here, so you're welcome to all help each other, but one of you has to make that single risk roll and put themselves in the way of danger for taking additional ruin. If you want to all make them separately, you can all make them separately, but then you each have a chance of taking that risk.
I've got nothing for helping to orient.
To orient her. So in this like honey trap, I've got nothing.
You neither.
Then who's making the roll? Everyone or just one person? I'll call that everyone then.
I think everyone. Yeah, I think everyone's running.
Okay. All right. Then since Talia said that she was taking off first, I'm going to have you go first, Talia. You will take 1 dark die, simply because you're doing this. If you have any skills at running or navigating or anything like that.
I do have athletics.
I'll give you a light die for athletics. That's 2. And any devil's bargains? I am willing to give each of you this same devil's bargain, which is to say, you take off and you get a pretty good start, but you start to split off from each other. I am willing to give any of you the devil's bargain of getting separated from another person to take an additional light die.
Yeah, for sure. I'll do that.
Okay. All right, then that's 2 light dice and 1 dark.
I rolled a 4.
A 4. You succeed, but there is some kind of complication. The GM describes the complication, then you describe how you succeed. Andre or Dylan, any ideas for complications on Talia beginning to escape the atrium?
Not at the moment.
I think in order to get ahead, you kind of take a way that gets you a little bit deeper first into the woods before you get clear. So you've got a little more trouble ahead.
Okay.
All right. Talia, you push into that thick curtain. The texture is unpleasant on the sliminess of your skin. You feel, as soon as you lose sight of your body, you feel almost suspended, like you have that disconnect, that condition, right? So pushing through the hair becomes almost like you feel like a seal, just sort of batting things away. You can't really tell where your fingers are as you push and push and push through, threads draping over your neck, tangling in your own hair. Next, let's see, we had Archimedes. You said you wanted to cast a ritual.
Yeah, I wanted to cast a beast or use transformation to get through.
Beast
Just
sounds
like
interesting.
as he's like he's starting to grow in size.
Yeah.
And starting to go on like all fours maybe as he's running.
I'm going to say that this is a contest between Vesla and Archimedes.
Sure.
If that sounds good to you guys.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So what am I? I'm just running a D6.
1 second. I have to pull up the contest roll rules. A moment.
I mean,
believe you.
If Serenity rolled a success on that, did you
Then it just
succeed
did-
on your?
Then
I
it just
did.
doesn't.
It should
then
just
it
go.
then it
Should just go.
right.
Actually, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you begin to you try and summon this ritual, and there's a stillness and a silence, almost like a compression
Mhm.
over whatever source you draw
Right.
that bestiality from, and it doesn't summon forth.
Gotcha. So that's just the rituals, right? Not just or
Just
is
the
it everything?
rituals.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
And I think it just use transformation then, because it's not a ritual. It's just the trait.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'll use that. So it's a light die and a dark die to get through this.
Yes.
All right.
And same devil's bargain if you're willing to get fairly separated. You can take
Sure.
an additional light die.
I'll
Okay.
take that too. Yeah.
2 light, 1 dark.
5.
Okay.
Light.
That is a same thing, success with some kind of complication.
Mhm.
In this case, since Talia is plunging a little bit deeper, I'm going to say that this complication just involves a lot of discomfort.
Mhm.
Like pushing your way through the exit to the atrium. You find yourself sort of darting a little bit to the left, and the hair and the stickiness has formed almost like a skin, like a scab that you have to, with your transformation, with your strength, pull apart as you exit.
Yowza. That's not a Brazilian I want.
And finally, Vesla.
Okay, so I'll be rolling. I don't have anything to add, but I'm also not going to take that devil's bargain because I want to stay close to people.
Interesting. So I'll say in this case, that gives you sort of an awareness of where the other two are heading. Since they are separating, but you know which way they're going. You're able to stay close to them.
Okay.
All right, that'll be a single dark die then.
A 5.
A 5. All right. That is similarly a success with a complication. Is that higher than your current ruin?
Yes, so I'm probably going to take a ruin.
Okay. Any conditions anyone is interested in suggesting here? No. Vesla, you are the third person, a step after the other two as you catch and hold your breath to push your way out of the atrium between the trees, struggling through the sticky, unpleasant textures of this outer skin of the heart of the forest. And as you push through, focusing on tracking where the other two have gone, again, you can always accept or reject this condition, it can be changed, but you push through and you find some of the hair has stuck to you. You are now almost like Addams Family, I would say, draped in silver hair. Everywhere, skin. If you were wearing clothes, it just sort of sticks to your clothes, but everywhere there was bare skin, you now have these long silver tendrils.
Take it.
Okay. That is your condition. You mark an additional ruin.
Okay.
3 of you push out of the atrium. You want to step back in, Andre?
Yes. So, you 3 bolt. And the 3 of you are already veering off from each other, yes? No longer cohesive as a unit. As you can all just kind of hear, even though you're running away, the unicorn's voice in your head just sort of humming, and almost like he's waiting for the train. Just passing the time. Archimedes. As you plunge deeper into your bestial transformation, how are you advancing through the woods? I know that you had mentioned that you were interested in the stars up above.
Yeah, like before the thicket was blocked by the trees, he was looking at the stars to see where the orientation of like where they was. And since he knows the orientation of pretty much maybe all stars in the season, he knows which direction is the shortest to get out of the forest compared to where they were.
All right. Could I have you roll me a hunt check?
Sure. So that's just one light die.
It is. I will double check.
Or is it 2 considering I'm using a skill?
Be two.
It would be yes.
It's one light colored die just for exploring the world and asking the GM questions, and
Gotcha.
another light die if you have a skill, of piece, or equipment that makes your hunt easier.
Gotcha. Physical dice. 6. One was a 1 and one was a 6.
Excellent.
Fantastic. You find a token.
Token.
You are running, just almost galloping at this point on your forelimbs through the woods and looking upward at the sky as you're trying to use the stars that are available to you to find the cardinal directions and find your way back through the wood from whence you came. And from the skyline that you see smoke. You see a trail that leads the same way that you were already headed. And it occurs to you, you are headed back towards the knight. Back to his home.
Fine with that. If it's the shortest path, it's the shortest path.
As you are running past, the same temple has been, even just in the few short hours you've been gone, since you and the rest of the crew had abandoned him, the same tree has already been covered up again in all of these sigils. Not the same runic type that Shane had been experimenting with last ring, but more akin to the almost Paleolithic carvings that everyone had seen before around the artery.
Right.
Of a strange creature, semicircular, with long, thin legs and bug eyes, which you now recognize is indeed the unicorn. As you're running, you do not see the knight, inside or outside, just from you rushing past. Until just a few moments later, the geriatric old man, still nude, jumps out from behind a tree, holding a makeshift net made from grass and twigs, and says, "Stop! Stop!" And fully jumps in front of you, trying to capture you, essentially. What do you do?
It just suddenly does it, just like whoosh. I think he just collides with the old man.
You just like a linebacker, just throw him to the ground and basically ingrain him into the dirt as if you were etching him, and he loses breath and says, "Stop! Okay, wait," and will like cling to your fur and will like pull you up. Are you it? Let me see you. And will like grab you by the face and look at you. No. I thought you were the unicorn. Where is he? Where is he?
I think he just as he like takes his head from his hands and he just like points. He's just like does that in like the direction he came in.
No. I need to know more. You hold on. And with the snare still like kind of around you, will tighten it and manages to actually capture your legs. And says, "No, we need to go back. I need to get you to talk again."
I think as he's trying to wrap around me, Archimedes just fully tries to bite him.
Cool.
Pull him off.
Bet. Could I have you roll a combat roll?
Sure.
I don't know if we've even done a combat roll yet.
Get off me, old man.
First, you need to tell me how you're exposing yourself to injury or attack.
Well, I'm trying to bite this skittery old man, so he might attack me back and hinder my movement or hinder me, slowing me down.
And then you rolled your light die, yes?
Yes.
What is the number?
It's a 5.
A 5. Okay. So, because it is you and the night, there will be 1 dark die. There will also be another dark die.
Ooh.
So, oh wait, no, you're rolling. I'm a fool.
I'm rolling.
I don't roll. What am I doing?
What are you doing, bud?
So, roll 2 dark die.
Let's roll 2 dark die. Gotcha.
Yes.
I'll roll this on the machine. They're both 4s.
Okay. With that, you manage to defeat the Unicorn Knight. So how are you biting him?
Just as he's trying to wrap him. I'm guessing like a dog with a leash.
Mm-hmm.
Fully, Archimedes is just takes a chomp out of his shoulder and rips him off and throws him against the tree.
Okay. So you and you manage to get a chunk of this this older man's body, and it's easy to cut through. It's soft. It's hardened by his time out in the woods, but it is not thick musculature or fat. He is quite lean and mostly bone. And you manage to find such bone as you crack it open and rip it, and then subsequently just like throw him against another one of the trees with his own markings on it. And he is rendered unconscious upon impact.
I think seeing that there's a split second where he realizes what he just did. Then he thinks back to a certain fort with certain people, certain parents. He's terrified of the realization, and then just keeps going. Doesn't even look back.
In your mind, you again hear your dad's voice saying, "Go outside," as you return to your chase. Talia, you're gunning. You were the first person to manage to get out, and so you have a considerable lead. You are headed in another direction, not necessarily the same way you came in. How are you managing to navigate through the woods?
She's just trying to retrace their steps. I think that's probably the best that she can do, is just try and retrace where they've already been.
Can you give me a hunt roll as well?
Yes. So, what am I taking here? I take a light die. Do I take any dark die for this?
There are no dark die for this. It is only another light die if you have skill or equipment that would make it easier.
I just have athletics to keep running.
Sure, yeah.
But I'm trying to I don't know. I don't know if you count that. I would love to have that second light die, but
I'll grant it to you, yeah.
cool.
One thing I will note, actually, is that if you roll your 2 light die and they're lower than you would like, you can always add as many dark die as you like to that roll to try and get higher, as long as you acknowledge that
Can I
you're
add dark
exposing
die after I've rolled the light die?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm gonna roll the light die first. I'm gonna add a... Man, I don't know. No. I got a 4.
Okay. You are trying to trace your steps as your group had done, and the impetus of trying to get out as fast as you can before this half hour is gone is of more importance than necessarily like sticking to the trail directly. And you've, from your hunts with Cage before, know that taking a parallel route is better than going down the exact same game trail as the thing you're hunting, and in this case being hunted. So you manage to veer off the trail a little bit, and as you're going along past these trees that are beginning to slim down again, and other flora returns, you very suddenly reach what appears to be like an overgrown hedge. Thick and tall, but also almost manicured in some way. That seems to be blocking a little bit of your pathway.
Okay. What is this? Say it again. What kind of thing is it?
It's a hedge, like a
hedge that's
topiary
blocking.
sort of bush.
How tall?
It is probably 10 feet.
10 feet? Ah, fuck. Is there any space below it, or is it like leaves all the way?
You can like crawl your way underneath if you want.
I feel like that's probably... I don't know if I can do a 10-foot vertical leap. Is there anything close to it that I can kind of parkour off of, like a tree nearby, a rock, something that's like up close on the hedge that I could kind of like do a run up and then swing over, something like that?
Yeah, there's some rocks nearby.
I want to try and take a running leap off of those rocks. And
can you give me a risk roll? And can I have suggestions for Devil's Bargains?
Yes, I would like to propose a devil's bargain. I think that if you succeed at this, you should disturb those rocks in such a way that someone following you would be able to tell where you've been.
Not the rocks. Okay, yeah, that's fine. She got big ass feet. That's fine. All right, let's see. I got a 5 on my dark die. So what does that mean?
Is that your highest?
It's higher than my ruin.
Then you
and
gain
it is high.
ruin.
Okay.
What does this bring you to?
5.
5 ruin. Cool. So you succeed, but there are complications. I am going to, for your ruin condition, I'm going to offer that the being in a hunt again, even as someone who is the target, is the prey, gives Talia a renewed vigor and energy.
Oh yeah.
And she feels alive in this moment.
Sick.
You parkour, jump, over this fairly tall, overgrown bush, and as you do so, this sort of the slanted, surface, as you kick off, kind of tips over, and you crawl on top and then kind of roll over onto dirt, just clear dirt. It's not covered in sticks or leaves or brambles or anything it's clear. As you roll over and see this area is in fact part of a castle. This is a lawn. And the castle itself looks old, and the rest of the greenery still looks old and not necessarily groomed, but it does look intentional, like it was gardened at some point.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Interesting. I keep running.
Cool. You're running towards the castle, and you're
not
only
towards the
able to
castle. If it seems like getting towards the castle is the direction to go, I'll go that way. But otherwise, I'm going towards where I think we came from.
Yes. Now that you have catapulted yourself onto this estate, you notice that the hedges actually go all the way around. So you venture that your best bet of getting back over it is to go up and then try and find another vantage point to get across. So you bet that it's best to go into the castle.
Okay. Then I'll get in there and run some bleachers.
Awesome. Vesla. You started a bit slow, but as per usual, speed is not necessarily the winning ticket in these sorts of affairs. What are you doing to manage to get out of the Bloodwood?
Well, as the unicorn said, if I sabotage someone, then the target will be taken off of me. So I am following behind Archimedes.
Okay.
And I'm keeping my eyesight on them so that... Well, one, they state they're an astrologer, which I'm bet. Yeah, let's go. Two... noticing that the ritual had worked, he tried to do something and it didn't work before, I realized probably following behind would be a smart idea. But I'm just going to do it a bit more carefully, keep my distance, but still stay in eyesight.
You are keeping in tow with Archimedes a ways back to not draw attention to yourself, and you see how much Archimedes has truly mutated in the course of this adventure, in the course of this incursion. He has gone from such a mild-mannered, meek, awkward, timid, and short person to this hulking, large, hairy, domineering beast. And you had heard about beast bitten before, and you knew that those who had this condition were something to be in awe of, but it's different seeing it than it is reading it about it. Could I have you still make a hunt roll?
Sure. I
You're
don't.
hunting me.
Not really. I'm just using you as a meat shield. Can I don't know if this will work. It's all up to you. But can I use secrets to try to find the most, like, covered way, like the safest way to run behind, maybe?
Yeah.
Cool. So 2 light die?
Yeah.
That is a 3 and a 6.
Okay. So you do succeed.
And a token.
You stay out of eyesight from Archimedes as you are keeping in tow. And you realize as Archimedes is looking up towards the stars, he's trying to navigate the woods by looking a different direction. So a lot of times he's actually having to like slightly reroute and go different ways to navigate through the brush. Whereas you are paying attention to what's directly around you, so you can find shortcuts and ways of getting around, so you can still keep track with him even though he's faster than you and much stronger. And you realize you're also headed towards the temple, the Unicorn Knight's stead that you had left him behind in. And you see him jump in front of Archimedes, and then Archimedes ripping him and slamming him against the tree and knocking him unconscious. And him going off again. What do you do?
I'm gonna keep following. I mean, unless it looks like... Actually, you know what? Did you say there's like a net? Like they have like a net? I'll take that net and then I'll keep following.
Cool. As you go and try to pilfer this net from off of his body, his grip is still like rock solid. And he's slowly just coming back and just says, if you want to know more, I can tell you right now. I know so much. Please.
Give me the net. And then head, and I'll tell him the direction of where the heart is.
Can I have you roll a risk roll?
That's fine. Can I use my negotiation?
Yes. I'm going to offer the devil's bargain of when this happens and you redirect him, that you intentionally know that you are just trying to divert him and you're not actually sending him on his way. That you are choosing to damn him again and
not send him in the direction of the unicorn, in the sense that it will be your secret.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I told the unicorn I wouldn't tell people that they're still here, so that keeps my promise to the unicorn. Bet.
Cool.
Okay. Ooh, that was fucking close. So I rolled a 5 on my light die, but I rolled a 4 on my dark.
Oh. Interesting. What's your ruin right now, by the way?
5.
A 5. Okay.
I'm okay.
You point him in the direction, and he okay, here, take it, and will loosen his grip as he slowly just and gets back up on his knees and begins hobbling off in the direction you point him in. And he goes.
And then I'm still steadfast after Archimedes.
So you are.
Yes.
Hey, Alex. How's that clock doing?
Timer is done.
Officially, the hunt has begun. Alex, would you like to take it
Why
from
don't we
here?
take a 5-minute break, actually?
Oh, you want to take a
I
5? Cool.
Yeah, let's take
Can we
5.
take
I
a
think
10?
that'd be great.
Is that all right?
Yeah, let's take a 10. Let's take a 10.
Let's take a 10. All right, everybody.
All right.
We'll be back with more of the unicorn hunt. We'll see you in a bit.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye. Welcome back to the unicorn hunt. Talia, the stone is cold under your hand as you sprint up a set of worn stairs. Parapets and banisters around the first level of this massive keep. You feel like you should have been able to see it sort of over the hedge, but there's a mist or a fog that collects around the edges as you look back towards the hedge or side to side. You can see it's almost blocking the vision here, the massive trees on the outskirts of this area. Before you, there is a set of massive dark wood double doors. Some kind of insignia. Looks like it's been, well, was once here on the doors, but might have fallen off or cracked. A large metal shield that has split and bent over in two curled pieces. What do you do?
Well, I get the feeling, I have gotten the feeling from my GM that the best way to get out is to go through here. So I'm going through it.
Yeah, it looks like there's a tangled grounds, pieces of castle that have fallen off. So, like, navigating over some of those doesn't seem as direct as just if you can travel along the first floor of the keep and out the back, it basically spans the entirety of this inside hedge area.
Okay, well, I'm trying to get through here and out of the forest. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. Push those doors open with a reach noise. And inside you see what was once a grand hall, as far as you can tell. But it looks like furniture, carpets, banisters. They're all sort of leaking at the edges, growing. Almost like fungi or mushrooms have sprouted out of them, but they're made of the same material as the armchair, as the wool of the rug. They're just kind of bleeding and blooming.
There's some fuck shit with audio. Hold on. Whoops. Okay.
Good?
It should be good.
Okay. You step inside, and your footsteps echo in a strange way, where it almost sounds like someone is stepping behind you.
Well... Is there any way for me to roll a reduction roll right now? I'm at 5 out of 6. I'm kind of feeling a little on edge.
In order to try and sabotage someone else?
Is that the only way I can do a reduction roll?
Yeah.
Then yes.
Okay. I believe you could sort of think to the unicorn, Andre, if you do have any insight on that.
As you are trying to find a way to get out of this, your first thought is to, who else is around me? And no one is in your immediate vicinity. However, you do very quickly hear the voice of the unicorn in your mind. Do you wish for help?
Can we do that?
It might amuse me.
Yeah.
What would you like help with?
I got a lot of ruin, and I really want to take it down by like one, just one, and I would do a lot to make that happen. No one's around me, so I can't sabotage anybody else, but if you have any other way for me to maybe make that happen, I would love that. I promise I'll sabotage them later if you let me take off a ruin now.
Why don't you stay a while?
Here?
There's lots to learn in these halls if you look at more than just doors.
Okay.
Okay.
You can make a reduction roll.
How do I do that?
You are going to roll. I will pull this up right here. You are going to roll a single light die.
5.
Okay. You reduce your ruin by 1, but someone will notice your attempted betrayal. That will come up later. Not right now.
Hell yeah.
But the fact that Talia is mysteriously, well, not mysteriously, obviously, but absent from the other two and their escape is, of course, noticed. Okay. You step in to the keep. Archimedes and Vesla. You have left behind the temple. I think with your heightened senses, Archimedes, that familiar scent. Thick and glorious. Not blood exactly, of course, but still a certain tang. And then the rushing water. The ground that you're running through, pounding, is wet beneath your feet. A sort of springy dark moss, and every step pushes thick liquid out underneath. It seems like you're heading back the way that you came, but the forest around you is moister than before, almost like it's sweating or panting. Trees leaning in, and you swear that every corner you turn, there's more boughs and branches that you have to duck under or just rip your way through, and all of them, every single twig, is forked and reaching. Would the two of you each like to make a hunt roll?
It's just one light die?
That is one light die unless you're using an additional skill. And if you've used a skill previously, like if you, for example, if you had used an athletics or a navigation or a secrets, in this case I'm going to say that I want something more specific to the area you know you're approaching. Since you're approaching the river, if there's a skill that's more related to that location, that would be more useful to include.
And I use either my myths or my artifacts to see if maybe I can ford this river easier because now I'm covered by the substance of the forest.
That is pretty intriguing. I'll incorporate that into the roll. Yeah, I'll allow you to add 2 light die to your hunt roll then.
Oh. So total of 2 or?
Sorry, a total of 2, yes.
Okay, I was like, oh.
Five. Okay. A 5 on a hunt roll means that you take 1 token, but you encounter something terrible. And before the two of you get to the artery, Archimedes, will you also make a hunt roll for me?
You got it, dude.
You
That's
got it,
5 for me as
dude.
well. That's 5 for me as well.
Okay, then you both will take a token, but encounter something terrible.
Could I also
Oh.
Yeah.
have the two of you roll a contest roll?
Oh, interesting.
As Vesla is distinctly trying to keep out of Archimedes' eye line and sight and smell and
Gotcha.
hearing.
In all honesty, I'm not trying to stay out of his eye line. I'm trying to stay out of other things' eye line. So then they don't catch me. I'm using him as a meat shield, but honestly, I don't care if he knows I'm there.
Okay, then never mind. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Okay. Well then, Dylan, are ruined. Do you want to step in here?
So you said that something terrible happens.
They encounter something terrible at the artery.
As you step in to cross the blood red water, it is already boiling. Not in a way that burns, but the bubbles are running through, as though it were at a boiling point. You both hear the howls of the hounds that were here last time. And it's only a second before they just emerge straight up from the bloody water. It's red stain stuck in their fur as they confront you.
I have an item. I don't know how well it will work. I have a vermin repeal.
Okay.
And that combined with maybe that, or maybe like the fact that since I'm covered, I'm using the shit out of this rune since I got it. Since I'm covered in the hair of the heart, is there any way that maybe it's harder for them to detect me? Since like they're mostly smell based anyway, and I don't even really look like myself.
Okay. So, what are you going to try to do? Are you just going to try to sneak past them unnoticed, like they can't, in the hopes that you're just not appealing or not relevant to their interests?
I was thinking like maybe because the bigger target is the other dog. That could be a reduction roll if you wanted to intentionally draw attention to Archimedes in favor of them going after him instead of yourself.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
If you would like to.
Okay.
All right. So that's one light die.
Got a 2.
And that's less than your current rune. So yeah, you can reduce a rune point by 1. You just kind of camouflaged by all the things that have affected you in this forest. You almost easily walk past, but the glittering light of the hair that is stuck to you as you walk past Archimedes, the wolves' heads, the hounds' heads turn towards him. Archimedes, what do you do?
Then they're all around me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I know which direction to go.
You do.
I just need to break apart from them. I think at this point, seeing that the wolves are encroaching around him, and he's standing on 2 legs.
Mm-hmm.
He just like thinks, like, get out of my way, as he fully goes on all 4s and fully transforms into a wolf himself.
Okay. What would you say? Would you say this is a risk roll to?
Yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable.
Yeah. Does anybody have any bargains to add to that?
I'm thinking about it.
You transform, and I think the dogs become confused for a moment as you become a full wolf. However, when you step through the river, as the dogs were more heightenedly affected, you are a bit affected as well.
That's what I was going to suggest as well, is that, like, turning more
High
canid...
five, Andre.
High five.
I'll take it, yeah, sure.
Cool.
Turning more canid makes you more susceptible to the artery.
Got it.
It's very spicy.
So it's a light die and a dark die. Right.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1 on my light die and a 2 on my dark die.
Okay, so you fail.
Yep.
And things get worse.
Yep.
You step into the water, you go into this full wolf stance, and you become more and more like the beast. The other wolves recognize you and begin to howl and growl with you and beckon you to start with them. You feel them calling you to the hunt with them.
Mm-hmm.
If you push past and don't go with them, they will attack you.
Nice, too stubborn. I'm no one's dog. And I'll rush past them.
Okay. How does a combat roll work in this?
Oh. A combat roll. Now, these hellhounds have a certain number that is their endurance, sort of like their difficulty rating, right?
Okay.
If a player is using a weakness against them, you can lower that number. The endurance is max 12, so it's 1 to 12. For example, like your highest rating enemy might be a 12 endurance. These two are both going to roll a light die because they are facing the hounds, unless Vesla has said that.
I think Vesla got past. Vesla
sort of just like
succeed.
So I would still, since am I across the river now at this
Up
point,
to you.
or
I think
I would say you have managed to redirect the dog's attention back to Archimedes. I wouldn't say you've crossed the river.
There you go.
okay. I would like to help once I get started into the river, though. Like try to help Archimedes from afar.
Okay.
Yes, so you're both going to roll one light die for your weak point and say how you're exposing yourself to danger.
I think as he's fighting these wolves, he's losing more and more of his humanity as he's tapping into his feral instincts to attack their weak points based on what a wolf would do, not what a human would do. And my weak point is a 1.
Excellent. And Vesla.
Okay, so my weak point is also 1.
Interesting.
But what I'm thinking is, as she begins to, or they cross the river, partway through, one of the weaknesses of a dog is right here, as that's where most dogs will attack others. So, pulling out some like a stone or a rock from the river. My weakness is I'm standing in the artery, but pulling like a rock or something very jagged and sharp. I want to like toss it directly like towards like maybe a jugular or something to make it easier for him to succeed.
Okay. Excellent. So then the two of you are going to each roll a dark dice because there's 2 of you involved.
Mm. Okay, cool. I rolled a 5.
Right?
I rolled a 3.
That is an 8. Now, Dylan, what do you think these dogs' endurance was?
Oh.
I took it over, so I'm happy. I'm happy to.
And it was, but like on a 1 to 12, you said?
On a 1 to 12, yeah.
And then what were, I don't know, like 7?
That sounds good.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So, yes. Now, each of you then get to describe how you succeed here in at least keeping the hounds at bay in order to cross the artery.
I think Archimedes is able to recognize which one of these pack dogs is the one that's the most in charge, and he goes straight for them, and he fully just like takes them down. Still using that like sense of a human to like, okay, I can use my environment around me, not just my raw strength, and fully just like take that one down to maybe scatter the dogs in confusion.
And then for me, what I think is like throwing like rocks. Maybe she's not insanely accurate as, throwing rocks, but at least getting to a point where the dogs are confused, unsure, like looking, seeing part of the forest attacking them, just getting them to a point of confusion to where Archimedes can just dive in and easily take care of things. And definitely during this, Vesla make sure to yell and go, "Stay with me, Archimedes, you can't leave yet."
And the hounds yipping and barking as that largest one is pulled beneath the water, just sort of swim away a bit, retreat up onto the shore as you're fighting them back. Archimedes, once you re-emerge beneath the water, your fur is smoldering and smoking.
Mm-hmm. I think even with that smoldering and smoking and the pain of it all, I think the pain of being this creature is the worst thing of all, and the determination to not be it is what's like driving his eyes still look like colored like a wolf's, but they have the expression of a person just like trying to like pull and like struggle against that urge. As he makes it to the other side, sees Vesla.
And now that I have spoken, my void's down. I drop my void for you. Fuck you.
And I just go, and like you see him like look up at the stars again, because this is a clearing. He sees where the stars are and everything, and then he looks at Vesla, and then he just like he lowers down. For them to get on.
And he will oblige and get on, and then just give you, there's a hesitation to just a pat on the head. Once they're comfy.
Yeah. And then he just takes off.
Talia,
Hello?
you are within this stead. As the unicorn has said to take note of what's around. You are traveling through these halls, and the first few steps are still... am I still echoing? Shit, hold on.
I don't hear any echo.
It's specifically for the stream. Hold on. There we go. Hold on. Y'all, I'm a fool. Hold on. Do not mind me. Can y'all hear the stream? Or everybody else?
What the fuck is happening? I just had to mute for that. Hold on, or unmute just for you. Okay, hold on. What the hell was happening? Let me see.
I've watched Princess Mononoke.
Why am I coming through Discord? That's weird. That shouldn't be happening, right? What the fuck?
That's weird.
You want to pull us to the break screen for a second, Andre?
The break screen doesn't have this stuff on it.
Ah, fair enough.
Then we're gonna riff.
Sorry.
Hey,
Bop.
you ever
dream
find
that
yourself in the woods being chased by a unicorn chameleon?
No, because I'm African American.
You do. With one of your friends.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does that apply to the forest? Because the forest is everywhere.
The forest popped things up in front of us. That's like.
Yeah. Have you ever met a smart when have you ever met a smart, handsome, rugged boy who pulls weird shit out of his pockets and then turns into a werewolf and then like gives you a ride through an evil forest trying to kill you?
Not yet.
Well, I did, and it was rad.
Living the dream. It's only a matter of time, Ellen.
My number is
The most unfortunate thing is
Archimedes, if you are free on Thursday, I will be free on Thursday next week.
I was gonna say the most unfortunate thing is Vesla does not deserve anyone. So, no, come
Hold on.
on.
Can I get silent
hot.
for a second? Hold on. I need to double check. Nope. My audio is still linked to Discord for some reason, so that's some fuck shit.
But
I really don't know how the hell this happened.
Is it because one is attached to the voice mod and one is attached to Discord, or is it
I think so. Hold on.
Because that might be it.
No. It's still coming through. Let me... Okay. So, this should work. Okay. This should work? Can everybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, great.
We can hear you.
I am so sorry, everyone.
and I'm hearing you through the stream,
Okay.
and I hear us through the stream.
Okay.
So, yeah, okay.
Yay!
Talia,
Hello.
you are in this stead, as the unicorn has told you, to take note of things besides just doors, and many of the halls you've been traversing through so far have been close to the exterior. They've been near parapets and windows and stained glass, so you've been able to see a lot of the natural lighting through what you can. And eventually you hit a dead end and have to continue venturing through pure darkness. Except when you turn the corner, it's not pure darkness. There's light inside. There's a fire burning.
Oh boy. Well... Can I see the river from the windows that I was walking past?
You cannot.
Okay. Well, he told me to fucking pay attention to stuff other than doors and shit, so I'm gonna go pay attention to that fire.
You observe the fire that is burning on this torch on the wall. And you're looking at it, and at first you think it's just fire. There's nothing extremely strange about this. And then one of the embers sort of floats a little bit astray and guides your eye back towards a tapestry on the wall. And this tapestry looks extremely familiar to you, Talia, as it very much resembles the tapestry that Cage has, or had, in his lodge. The one of the original unicorn hunt. But this is of just a scene with the Lord depicted in that tapestry, in a very medieval sort of feast festival sort of scene. The figures are very flat. It's all embroidered, so it's all textile. The colors have remained remarkably rich, even though this appears to be from ages long past. This looks very well preserved. And there's no fraying on any of the threads. This is in remarkably good condition.
Okay. Yeah, I touch it.
You touch it, and you put your hand to this fabric, and at first it just sort of pushes against your hand, and then back to the stone wall, and you kind of feel the cold of the stone behind this fabric, and then from your hands a sort of green energy flows outward and through the fabric, and the threads seem to unravel themselves as if it's completely falling apart in this moment. I would like for you to make a risk roll right now.
Risk? What am I trying to do here?
That's what I would like.
Ruin.
Or this is a ruin roll, sorry.
Ruin roll.
Oh,
Just a straight ruin roll.
how does that work? We just roll a dark die?
Ease. One dark die. If you made a risk roll, which includes a dark die, yeah, it's just a dark die.
Okay. I rolled a 1.
You're-
Then
Okay.
you are fine. As you touch and you step back, realizing you've affected this somehow, the threads flurry backwards, almost like little strands of smoke itself, and how fluid and almost cohesive they are in these bands, and then quickly begin to almost like threading themselves back together. Everybody, what is happening tonight? There's a loud-ass bird outside. I am so sorry.
It's just part of the forest, you know.
The forest is telling you you're doing a good
Forest
job.
is here with us in the stream tonight.
I can feel God in this Chili's tonight.
Okay, bird that's crying like a baby. Okay. And the stitching puts itself back together. And it looks to be almost the exact same image as before. But the figures have changed. even though the staging is the same. And you see the background is no longer this sort of medieval castle with banners and flags of past houses that have since gone extinct. You are no longer seeing squires and village folk and lords and nobles and ladies and people in waiting. And you no longer see the Lord that stood sort of centerfold in all this. You now see Cage's Lodge. You see all of his maladjusted taxidermy in the shape of furniture adorning this place. Still in a very medieval style, so all the animals still look wildly warped and not at all resembling their real-life counterparts. The figures that are attending this sort of festival are no longer people of the court. They are people within Cage's circles. These are other mercenaries. These are the well-to-do. These are people who employ him. These are members of the pack. But the central figure isn't Cage. The central figure is you. And you stand tall amongst all these other figures in a very hieroglyphic canon sort of way, emphasizing your importance and your stature as Wingman, your ferret, is right by your side, and you wear your bowler hat and your suspenders and your striped pants, and holding a cane rather than a sword.
Just kind of like reaches forward and traces a finger down the tapestry. Never gonna get there if I can't get out of here.
The unicorn speaks to you in your mind. I wouldn't say that necessarily.
I thought the whole point was that you were gonna like eat us or something.
Eat you? No. No, I will eat you in time. Not now.
Well, I think that I really want to win, so I think I gotta get going.
As you begin to remember your goal again, the Talia in the tapestry speaks to you in Cage's voice and says, "Come on, Talia. It's not so bad here. You could live it up on top."
No, I gotta go.
And you hear from not too far from where you are echoes from down the hall of hushed whispers and giggles.
I gotta go! I gotta run. I gotta go.
And you start running through these halls as the flame that you were investigating before turns green. We're gonna cut back to Archimedes and Vesla. You two are together again. How lovely.
Say it like that.
Vesla, do you remember how the interaction with the Unicorn Knight was in fact not successful, but there was no immediate repercussion.
I thought it was a 5. Okay. Yeah.
But 5 is still something still goes wrong.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I do.
Really banked that. Damn.
As you two make your way across the artery, you see a familiar silhouette in the fog. As the knight pops out, walking along, and looks to you two, and looks wildly confused. But you told me you were.
Is he still injured?
Yes.
Okay. I look up at the star. Can I see the sky?
Yes. As you look up to the sky, you see the stars have realigned. It is no longer the dappled sky you've studied for so many years of your life, watching rotate around the sphere that you call home. Instead, all of the stars have formed a single circle.
We crossed the river, correct?
You did.
I think I think Vesla, you just as the man is approaching us, you just hear the lowest like.
I'm going to gaslight gatekeep girl boss and look at the old man and go, oh, no, it was that way. And I'm going to try to use negotiation to make it go away again.
When I'm gonna need a risk roll. Can I get suggestions for devil's bargains as I try to come up with one myself?
I need one. I need it.
Let me think.
Just remind me real quick what you're trying to do, Vesla.
I just pointed a direction last time to make the old man go. Mm-hmm. And he went, and now the knight has circled around to where we are. So I'm trying to gaslight him to thinking, no, I said that way.
He's circled
so he
around
leaves again. Yeah, so I'm trying to make him.
You're trying to gaslight him. What if you? And you're trying to get him to go
away,
away from you in a different direction.
Away, just keep going.
You succeed in that, but drive him directly to the unicorn.
Ooh. That's good.
Did keep a promise. Fuck. She's a bitch, but that person's that thing's trying to kill it.
Right.
I can't take that. Fuck.
No.
I want to.
Because all I can think of is that, like, he just attaches to you because he doesn't believe you. That's not a bargain. That's just a negative consequence.
Oh, actually, I have a different idea. Is that okay, Andre?
Tell me.
Instead, I'll go, oh, if you want to come with us, we're going to where the unicorn is. I'm going to get him out of here.
Very interesting. Okay.
Change it up.
Sure. I will allow this.
Just this
Still need a double bargain. Please help.
A double. Devil's bargain. Oh my.
No, I don't think I will.
No, you don't think you will?
I got nothing.
Through this devil's bargain, we meet Teddy.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll fucking kick that imp into the fucking river.
Interesting.
That's fair.
What does that mean, Andre? What does that mean?
I'll take that one. I like
Sure.
Andre's face in this.
Go ahead.
It's terrifying. Okay, so light die.
What'd you get?
I got a 6, but I gotta make sure my dark die isn't bad either.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad, yeah.
A 5. Oof.
Oh. Ooh.
We're playing with fucking this is going away. This is a consequence die.
All right. So, you offer to invite the knight to join alongside you, and he looks into. Well, if you know how to get to where you need to go, then the way you're going, the way I'm, yes, okay, yes, we can go, yes.
But you have to make sure that we're all safe. We're all playing as a team here. So if something bad happens, I need to make sure you have our back. I have yours.
Okay. I have my spear, and he pulls out the just sharpened branch from before. How's this?
Do you mind if I still use your net?
Did you take my net?
Oh, you gave it to me. I just wanted to make sure it was still okay.
Oh. Yeah, as long as I can have it back.
Oh, of course.
Yes, I will allow this.
Thank you. And then just
I think while they've been having this conversation, Archimedes has just been looking up at the star, like looking up at the sky, just like with the grimace of "you son of a bitch." Okay. All right. Okay. Just gotta get and then just continues to go the way he was going. Now he's not looking up at the stars; he's looking straight ahead.
Yeah.
I do want to find where. I want to see where that junction is, where I put the sharpened wood point before, where I lit it on fire, because that'll direct us where we were going.
Sure.
Or where we came from.
Yeah. Could you say that one more time for me?
Yeah, I just want to find where. So earlier, when I was trying to, in an earlier episode, trying to get information from Cage's bag, I set a fire distraction, and
Yes.
I had put that stick into the rocks. But it was from the way we were coming.
Yes.
So I wanted to see if I could find that to make sure we're going the right direction.
Can you roll me a hunt roll?
Sure.
Can I assist?
Yes, you can assist. So that would be another light die, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
I would
I got a
also
4 to
like
5. So 5. Oh, go ahead.
I would also like for you to add a dark die.
Sure. And that one's a 4.
Okay. And so your highest was a 5?
Mm-hmm.
You are rummaging through sort of the bushes, knowing that you had made this diversion some time ago, and trying to remember the location between the rocks that you had set off the initial kindling. And you're looking, and you find the original source of the fire, which I believe was a match.
Yes.
You find a lone match on top of these rocks, and a lot of the soot and char from the fires just kind of fallen to the side. It seems to be in sort of like these like jagged sort of like rocks that lay at the base of this like table.
Just move. Yeah, I was just looking at it for directions, so that's all I needed.
As you were looking at them, the sort of like stalactites, the very small stalactites that are kind of embedded in the rock, shift into fingers as the an imp sort of pops out of their camouflage and are holding it in their little fingers, and this imp has an extended tail and the mold sort of running up their head, and her tail ends in a flower. And you recognize this is the same imp that Teddy turned into.
Knight, I found an enemy.
Wait, no, stop. It's me.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Fully haunches down.
You hated me before. Why would I trust you in this form?
Well, I thought it was worth a shot.
Strike 3.
Get yourself an attack, wolf boy. Because, boy, this is nice.
Yeah, I'm fully not going to stop you.
Woo!
I will help you. I will help you in whatever you're doing.
What am I rolling?
Risk roll?
I believe this would be... Let me double check. At first that was a combat roll.
First it was a combat. I thought a combat roll.
I would say a combat roll.
Combat roll.
So tell me how you're exposing yourself to injury.
I'm assuming they're gonna attack me if I miss.
Probably.
That would probably hurt me or one of the 2 companions I have attached to me. So that's how I'm risking myself.
Sure.
Anybody else want to jump in this? I don't know.
Can I help you, or can I?
If you are also involved, you'll be rolling your own combat roll.
You got it. Basically, I'm just going to try to block any way of escape rather than like attacking.
Sure.
Just giving them the edge and just shrugging, going, oh well.
Okay.
And
Oh, go ahead.
okay. Oh, and I'll just roll that combat you needed me to.
Okay.
Or the
roll.
weakness.
Weakness. That's a 1.
Oh, and weaknesses, I guess I'm also just... All my focus is on Teddy. So, I mean, that leaves my back open, unfortunately.
Okay. So roll your weakness point as well.
Mine's is 1.
Okay.
6.
And 6. Cool. And you're going to gather... So it is you, Archimedes, you, Vesla, Teddy, the Unicorn Knight, and a 5th player. So you will be rolling 5 dark die.
I'll be rolling 5 dark die. Or
You will both be rolling 5 dark die as you're both doing combat
we'll both
rolls.
be rolling 5 dark die. Okay.
Oh, wait.
The dark die for each character involved in the attack.
Yeah, so that's just an added together. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in total, I think.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So we roll what for ourselves?
The 5 includes you.
Yeah, so we just roll them for ourselves, and you guys are rolling the other ones, or
Yeah, I can roll for Imp Teddy if needed.
What are you specifically asking? Because I feel like I'm not understanding the question.
How many dice am I rolling in this roll right now? Am I rolling a no light die and all 5 dark die?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, to be clear, the imp has a endurance number, and then 1 dark die for the knight, 1 dark die for Archimedes, 1 dark die for Vesla, correct? And is there another attacker?
The Unicorn Knight.
The Unicorn Knight. Sorry, the knight, Vesla, Archimedes. 3?
And Teddy.
And Teddy, so 4.
Teddy is fighting, you only include the people that are fighting the enemy.
Okay, that was not clear in the rule
sorry.
set. Okay. And then in that case, there is also an additional 4th character.
Combatant. Oh my god.
Okay. All right. So then 4 dark die rolled in total and added together to beat a number. There we go.
Gotcha. Alright. 4 total. Ooh, okay. I rolled a 6, a 6, a 1, and a 4.
Oh. You rolled a 6?
Yeah, I rolled 2 6s.
Oh. Cool.
I rolled a 3, a 3, a 5, and a 2.
Okay. So do you go back to 5 ruin now?
Yes, I do.
There you go. So both of you gain ruin, and Archimedes is going to be ruined.
So I get 2 ruin.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're super ruined.
We shut up real quick.
Oh no!
We shut up fast.
So what was the total amount for, like, adding up all the numbers?
Mine
got
was 13.
Mine was 15.
Okay. You guys blow this out of the water. Describe to me how each of you attacks this imp.
You know the critically acclaimed what's the game called that's from Telltale? Wolf Among Us?
Yes.
You remember the scene with Bloody Mary? It goes something like that.
The very end scene. Yes.
Including the increase in growth in size.
Amazing.
Want to know what spoiler?
Yes, that's why I said it the way I did.
Damn.
Vesla, how are you attacking?
So basically, I feel like Teddy's imp tries to like scurry in a direction, and Vesla just puts themselves in a physical blockade.
Cool.
And just like corners them.
Do I gain a token because I rolled a 6 or no?
Yes, but you will soon be ruined. But yes, you do get a token.
Yeah, I'm at 5 ruin right now.
Is it whenever you roll a 6 you get a token?
Wait. Hold on. No. That's specifically for a hunt roll. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, not for combat.
Gotcha. Just curious.
1 moment.
Wait, clarify. Are you at 5 or are you at 6 ruin? You're at 5, so we still got 1 more for you.
No,
I'm at 5. Right?
He rolled 2.
I was at 3.
You were at
Yeah,
3.
you are.
Yeah, Archimedes has been at
Oh,
3.
you were. I thought you said you were at 5 and you gained 2.
No.
God. Okay.
Sorry.
Yep,
I was at 3.
Okay, you are not ruined. Sorry,
Yeah,
I thought you were at 7 ruined, and I was like,
No,
all right, cool.
no. I would have said that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm at 5.
So the knight is also participating in this attack, as he at first sort of like trembles a bit at the sight of this demon, and fully is aware of what it is. But slowly, his staff seems to like glow, sort of like moonlight, and almost with like little bits of like gold intermingled with the wood. And he looks at it and says, "Oh, the unicorn! Yes, yes, I can do it! Be gone, evil spirits!" And will like charge forward. And you, the three of you, manage to eviscerate this imp. As soon as your claws, this spear, your weapons, Vesla, manage to tear through, the body does not bleed or rip. Rather, it disintegrates. It tumbles down like an old cobblestone building and collapses into another series of rocks. And the plant life that was based on its body just lays on top of the ground, and the flower that was her tail again sort of shrivels facing downward and then begins to bleed drop by drop.
My heart's sad. That's what doesn't care.
I'm sad as well, but Archimedes is not. I think because he's swelled in size, so he's about the size. I'm gonna say about the size of a school bus.
Oh,
Damn. This is some Princess Mononoke shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he just like looks down at himself, and then looks over to Vesla in the night, and just pondering to see what their reactions are.
Vesla is not one to have a string of emotions, but looks at your form and just goes, "Now we can all fit. Good idea."
The night looks to you after this ecstasy-fueled attack, and looks to you. You are also a demon, you know.
And there's almost like a look of like acknowledgement, but at the same time, that stubborn human thing of I'm more than that.
Yeah.
As he like looks at the night and then looks on straight forward as he's trying to smell for the ruined car engine at the entrance of the forest.
Cool.
And all that gasoline.
Yeah. All right.
We both got ruined. What do we get?
One step closer to your deaths.
Oh, we didn't get cool power up.
No.
Conditions.
Yes, we'll get you conditions. I feel like Archimedes has already sort of described his condition.
Yeah, swelling to the size of a bus sounds pretty.
That seems appropriate for 2 ruin.
Love to describe mine.
If you want to give yourself a
Yes.
fucked up condition, please feel free.
I feel like after that just evisceration, even though Teddy was not good to Vesla, there's still like, that was an uncalled for amount of violence. So I feel like in the twinge of everything, the flower that begins to bleed down trickles and begins to grow almost a vine-like shape and goes up Vesla's leg. And now on one of Vesla's legs, those flowers begin to sprout out and just drip blood. So it's not too restrictive, but it's a reminder and like a pulsing and almost like thorny.
That is lovely. Not exactly lovely, but...
Alright, I'm gonna hand it off to Alex.
Okay.
Good job, team.
Talia, you flee the keep, leaving behind strange tapestry, the blooming furniture. You come out the other side of this castle. There were many more corridors, staircases, banisters, and parapets that you leave unexplored. As soon as you step out the door, there's a and a hiss. And steaming out of the dark stone, that mist that you had seen surrounding the castle blossoms and grows. And it starts to crumble in on itself into a massive pyre of green flame. You're sprinting. The hedge on the other side, there's sort of this back area of the castle, a balcony that you've come out on. That gives you a pretty good vantage point to leap and jump over the hedge on the other side. Do you want to give me a risk roll?
Yeah.
And if anyone would like to offer devil's bargains for this, feel free to do that as well. Jumping off a balcony back into the woods.
I think in the rush to get back into the woods, you manage to lose your weapons in the flurry of just trying to escape.
That's a big one.
It's up to you.
I mean, yeah, sure, why not?
You have a sword and a gun, right?
I have a sword and a gun.
I have another devil's bargain if you want to either do both or not.
I am in listening mode.
You jump off the
good
balcony and it looks really cool. And you do a good job and you land. However, your landing is a bit loud and draws a bit of attention your way. So if something was following you or lost you, if it's close by, it may know where you are.
I'll take both of them. Why the fuck not?
Big flips and RIP gun.
I rolled a 6 on my white die.
Okay. That is a success, and you describe how you succeed. Tell us about your sick flips.
I hurtle towards the hedge, and I find a tree, a really gnarled, fucked up looking tree, and I do a running jump, and it's kind of like tilted, and I run up the trunk of the tree, and then I do a sick front flip over the hedge and land a 3-point landing on the other side, and then keep running.
But no one saw it.
But no one saw it.
No one claps in the Bloodwood for Talia.
I would like to make a small correction.
Yeah.
Shane takes a break from drawing that symbol in the dirt and just claps one-handed
snaps.
against the ground just for a brief, hot little second. And that's
Thank you,
it.
Shane. Thank you, Shane.
Fantastic. You leave the hedge behind, a loud noise as you land, but a silence around you. It's, of course, minutes later, you've left that area behind entirely when you reach for the comforting weight of the gun at your hip or the hilt of your sword and find they're no longer there. Hard to say when you lost them, but there's that strange echo to your footsteps still. Even though you're not stepping on the stone anymore, as you're running, it's a thud, 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 almost like additional footsteps behind you. But you know nothing's behind you because you're pretty perceptive, right, Talia? So as you are running, will you give me one more hunt roll?
I am using 1 light die. That's a 1.
Fantastic. Talia. You lose all of your tokens, and you encounter something terrible. You can, of course, if you would like to, add a dark die to that, and try and get better on your hunt roll at the price of exposing yourself to ruin.
Oh, I'm good.
All right. You are lost. You come out the other side of this hedge, this area of the wood, and you've lost the trail entirely. Off the beaten path. This is an area of the forest that you haven't seen at all before. And it makes sense because it's not exactly forest. Oozing bushes. Thick sap. Almost like a marshland. With these deep pits. As you sort of step out to this more open area and you're running, you can see the sky overhead, and you have to slow down because the first moment your foot starts to sink into one of these pits and you step back, you can see just layers and layers of chaff or wheat or hay of some kind, similar to that graced the mane of the unicorn, is laying on top of this sap marshland.
Whoa. Can I swing over top of it like Tarzan?
There are no trees growing in this area.
Well, can I try and run really fast over it like a little basilisk lizard?
You can certainly try that.
With my pure athletic prowess.
Sure. That'll be 1 dark die and 1 light die. And I'm gonna offer you a devil's bargain here.
Okay.
Which is, you know you've made a lot of noise. You have a feeling with the footsteps you keep hearing that you are someone who's currently in pursuit. Or currently being pursued by something, even if you can't really see it. So, my devil's bargain for you is that you are going to get stuck here for a while. Even if you cross successfully, but you get stuck for a moment in a way that is uncomfortable for you.
Sure. Might as well.
Okay. Anyone else? No. 2 light dice, 1 dark dice.
4.
Okay. With a 4, you succeed with a complication. So, you start just Hail Mary sprinting across the sappy marshland. You don't hear your footsteps echo anymore because the ground beneath you is soft and mushy. Like you're running on a layer of mud covered in this wheat or fur. 20 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet, 50 feet, and then your back foot, as you try and pull it out to keep running, doesn't quite pull. You tug again, and then your front foot slips in a little bit. And you sort of sink into the ooze for a moment. You can tell that you're on the edge of one of the pits. You're not, like, in danger of just fully sinking down. You can feel a bit more firmness in the area in front of you. But when you turn your head back with this yellow ooze coming up your leg, you see a strange creature behind you. The hunter.
Which again.
The unicorn.
What did you say? The last part?
The unicorn.
I thought you were giving me a chance.
Oh. You still have several chances left.
Not entirely certain how I'm supposed to get out of here.
You just have to keep looking. You came in, didn't you?
Keep looking for what? For you? I found you.
Yes, you already won that.
I look around. Is there anything around that I can use?
You think you can get a grip and pull yourself out of this pit. It's undignified. But you are able to do so. You did succeed with a complication. Unfortunately, your shoes get stuck in the muck behind you.
Oh, well, that's fine. I'm making it. I will pull myself out. What did you say?
I can get you new shoes.
It's fine, I'll buy some when I get out. No problem, thank you so much for your hospitality. I keep running.
And you run.
You begin to run again.
We're still echoey.
Oh. You begin to run again through the marsh. And you leave the unicorn behind. But as you look behind again, you see the unicorn is the same distance away from you. Even though you are very objectively running forward.
Yep. Keep going. I scooch.
You are approaching the edge of this marsh. And there is another sort of wall of vegetation that lays before you. And even though it seems thick, the morning sun, you can tell, is just cresting over the horizon as the light in the sky towards this direction is shifting warmer. And the slight glow from the leaves seems to be reflecting that same warmth of daylight. As you rush forward and push and push and push, what is Talia thinking about as they are so close to the edge?
Eyes frantically darting back and forth, trying to see if she can see anybody else who's still in here. Just thinking about breaking out on the other side of those trees every other time she's ever run for her fucking life. Something she's quite accustomed to. Has relied on her physical prowess for a lot of the success that she has acquainted herself with. And just thinking about eyes on the finish line, not thinking about anything else, just getting to the end.
Cage's voice sort of rings in your head, not as like some hallucination or anything, but just more of like a core memory of
him just saying, by any means necessary, right, pal? And we're gonna cut back to Archimedes and Vesla as you two are continuing your path again. The star's no longer reliable, but seemingly having crossed the river into the outer rim of the Bloodwood, beyond the artery. As you are trying to sniff out the gasoline from the ruined wreckage of Cage's vehicle.
Right.
Can both of you give me a hunt roll?
We're doing it separately, or can I help?
If you'd like to help on this one, I would allow that.
Since I'm on Archimedes' back, I'd like to help.
Cool.
Yeah, so this is a hunt roll, you said?
This is a hunt roll.
Let me just roll. Let's see. Alright. Do I get an extra die because I'm being assisted?
Yes.
Get that 6. Get it.
Get that 6. Get rid of those. I rolled a 6 and 5.
Very good. In this sort of grandiose form that you have now taken on, your senses are fully activated.
Yeah.
You are now completely in tune with this other aspect of yourself that for so long you've kept repressed and bottled. But now, having been in this form for longer than a few minutes and actively using all of your newfound abilities, you feel powerful. And you manage to sniff out the diesel from Cage's tank truck that had been ruined at the very start of this incursion. And you see it. You see, just as the trees begin to thin, as you get closer and closer to the edge, and you can just see that rim of red-violet coming from the horizon just across the way. You can see Cage's car sitting, crumpled still, as if its back is still broken, with the one headlight facing forward and the one headlight askew.
Now that you get a token, do you want to mix our tokens and win the game?
Sure.
Okay, Wolfie boy?
Let's go. I can't read books anymore, but it's fine. I'm finding new fashions.
You don't have to read a book when you're as big as a bus.
But I like reading books.
I'll read to you. It's fine.
You two see the car. And as you two and the knight approach it, the knight is hesitant and kind of like hides behind both of you. What creature is that?
I can't even do without doing the joke. A dreaded Corvette. Don't worry, it's been destroyed. They can be useful, though.
As you say that, the engine begins to rev.
It's not been destroyed.
Is that just true?
As the headlights flash back on again, and they sort of like swivel in place as if like calibrating, and then one just hangs to the side again. And from the installed record player that Cage had installed into the dashboard of this machine, you hear the unicorn's voice. Ooh, actually, I need to find another.
Oh, a car-related.
I want you to know.
I think Spaceman is good for
like
transmissions.
Oh wait, I think there's one I'm thinking of that's like a radio voice. Hold on.
Well, that's the one I know. Spaceman is the one that sounds like a radio.
Spaceman? Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
All I'm thinking is that the Fallout song, I don't want to set the world. Yeah, that's what I imagine playing from the car.
Okay. Let's see.
That sounds so good.
Yeah.
Good.
Well. You did it. Congratulations. I wasn't sure if you'd make it this far, but... I suppose step forward and discover what might happen.
How does the knight react to this voice?
Yeah.
I'm curious.
The knight is seemingly very, like, confused as this voice emanates from the car and kind of, like, squints his head and, like, shakes it. But I thought that's the voice. That's the voice of... And realizes it's the unicorn.
I told you I'd bring you to the unicorn, didn't I?
And his eyes light up. And you three are now in distance of the end. Do you step forward?
Yep.
Before he steps forward, I go, Talia still there?
I wouldn't worry about her.
Well, she just owes me one, so.
You won't have much to... Well, perhaps... In... No. No. Sorry, I shouldn't speak out of turn. And you...
Well,
oh.
okay.
And you three advance forward. And Talia, you are pulling through the underbrush. And you creak your hands through and rip it open. Archimedes and Vesla, you two step onto the first truly green, verdant patch of grass, and as soon as your feet land on the grass and you rip open the vegetation, Talia, you find yourselves back in the atrium. The grass that you're stepping on is the thick, lush grass of that circle, and the vegetation that you were pulling back was the hairy curtains that protect it.
Fuck is this?
You are all together once again.
Is the knight with us? No.
I told you you would have many chances.
But we won.
In a way.
What is this?
It's a game.
By Hades by Supergiant.
Plug. Sponsor us.
Are we just supposed to come back every time?
I don't think so. The knight has been on the knife's edge for a long time. And Brickanier I got long ago.
Talia starts running out again.
You rush back into the woods. And as you rush back out, it seems as though the woods around you have reconfigured. This is the exact same exit you went out the first time. And you see the destroyed car that's supposed to be on the edge of the woods.
Guess I try and go fix that car.
You go and begin.
It's still echoey.
What was that?
It's still echoey.
Oh.
As you begin to fix up the car with what little tools and appliances you still have on you, Vesla and Archimedes, what are you doing?
What form is Archimedes in?
Archimedes is still in his, like, bus wolf form.
We're still pretty
Gigantic
ruined.
wolf form, yes.
Are you just going to do this until we're here eternally?
That's the idea.
Not a very fun play, mate. Get bored of me real fast. Probably should just let me go.
Vesla, Heidi, you are full of possibilities.
Don't you speak that name in this house. Well, I won the first time. You said I'd have renal knowledge. No harm in giving me that knowledge while I'm here, then. Playing your little game. Right?
Of course. Alright.
I'm gonna have you
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna have you roll.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Alex wants to say something.
Oh, I'm just excited.
Oh, you're just excited. Sorry.
Yeah. A ruin roll could work.
I'm gonna have you roll a ruin roll.
Question. With rune rules, is it the number you're at or below is safe, or is it if you roll that number or above, you're messed up?
It is a ruin roll. You have to if you roll higher than your current ruin.
Okay, cool. I'm just scared because it's a 5. So I was like, okay. It's a 5. Thank God I asked.
Okay.
Alex, would you like to describe this?
I would love to. For a moment, even though you're looking at this creature and you can't really read its expression because it's tilted and twisted, you would swear that the green light almost twinkles. And the looming massive trees of the atrium bend towards you, Vesla, as it steps forward, and slowly, like it is knighting you, lowers its horn towards you to brush your forehead. And then it steps back and guts you. You fall to your knees, looking up at the sky. And lines begin to draw between the stars, connecting them. Patterns, infinite patterns, a map in the sky. A web, scrawled out, indistinct calligraphy. And the horizon is infinite and full of secrets. As the unicorn pulls back, you fall into your knees. When you look towards it, and then back up to the sky, those symbols that you've been studying, the marks that the Unicorn Knight had made, you see them there among the stars. And the cracks on the back and the bark of the unicorn, that same calligraphy is there. You could study it forever. You could study here in the atrium forever. And there would be so much to learn. And Vesla, you collapse to the ground of the atrium in front of Archimedes.
The unicorn, after Vesla collapses, will rear his head back again, and the sort of birch-like bark around his horn crumples, and then shedding off the blood that had stained it, and then will regrow it again in a matter of seconds. And will look to Archimedes.
So, what do you think? Oh, I'm a fool. He is not available. Yes. We're gonna switch to Talia then. Talia.
Hello.
You are trying to work on this car that has been fully abandoned for 2 days. In worse shape than any other wreck of a car you've seen. And there aren't many cars yet in this world, so that means a lot.
and you can hear the unicorn's voice in your head. You did win.
Not out yet.
You found your way out.
What'd you say?
You found your way out.
But I'm still here.
I still intend to give you your prize.
My prize is out there, and she sort of like gestures.
Gorius offered you leadership. Granted it to you. To lead a pack. Yes?
Yes.
There is a pack here. Far more powerful than any group of mortals. There is endless hunting to do. No end of targets in sight, as long as I am here.
You have like a probational period where we can test it out.
It is a committal position. You would become the next wild hunter. If you accept.
And if I don't?
Then you will continue to play the game.
Is there a chance that I get out of here?
Oh, yeah. The huntsman travels the world. You would not be bound to this grove for the rest of your life. People would celebrate you, fear you. You would be immortal.
All right.
The unicorn... The unicorn will almost summon the wild huntsman and his phantom steed, as if controlling the very fabric of reality. And once they are both in their position, the unicorn will ask the knight, Draconier, step down. And Draconier looks to the unicorn and then back to you. And though these eyes are ghastly and eternally filled with rage, you do recognize this sense of doom in those green embers behind that helmet. As very hesitantly, the knight will dismount. The phantom steed sort of fading back into dust. And the unicorn will look to him. Thank you, Valdemar, for all your service to me. And will touch him with his horn. Just ding! And a huge sudden crack in this obsidian armor ruptures all across the plating as there's another sort of burst of bright green energy that kind of like explodes out of him in a brilliant light, and after shielding your eyes and like looking back at where the brightness had been, you see a medieval man in full royal gear with a cape and a cap with a feather in it. And he says, "You son of a bitch!" and will suddenly just begin to like run towards you and try and like grab you, but every step he takes is 50 years since he was first captured. So he ages from about 40 to 90 in one step. His skin wrinkles like a raisin, and his cheeks go sallow, and his eyes bag. His nose cartilage shrivels as it dehydrates, and his clothes get immediately looser. And another step forward, and he basically has become just this walking corpse. And after a few more steps, his skin deteriorates, the flesh basically melts off of his body, until one more bony reach outwards towards you, Talia, and he just collapses on the ground, and his bones, like the horse, turn to dust.
Do I get a horse?
If you wish. You could have that vehicle you brought, as long as it does not enter these places. Here you must.
Fuck that. I want the horse. Actually, can I have an elephant?
Yes.
Sick.
And almost like drawing it with its horn, the unicorn summons this hellish pachyderm, almost like something out of Lord of the Rings, where it has like 17 sets of tusks and this Carthaginian sort of armor that embellishes its face. There's this rich, brilliant tapestry that adorns its back alongside the carriage on top, that's fully armored with crossbows. And the tapestry on the back of this elephant is the same one that you had seen in the castle of you.
Whoa.
And the unicorn calls, "Step forward, Talia."
I do so.
And much like Vesla, the unicorn will put its horn on both of your shoulders. And you feel that earlier sensation that you had of that thrill of the hunt returns to you 100-fold as this adrenaline fills your body and you have an instinctual driving need to hunt again. Your body turns not into a sort of not a fully phantasmal form, but it does gain an element of vapor, of looseness, of a spirit, of a soul. And you are feeling these effects. Your clothes seem to morph as they change from not necessarily the suspenders and rolled up sleeves that you had on before, but a much more militaristic or camouflaged ensemble. And one that is adorned with embellishments of royalty.
Well,
As you again feel this form that is now your body, taking on the aspects of the forest, as your head with its bowler cap and the feather included sort of molds across your face as you lose your visage. And the feather realigns to the center and turns almost into a single spike going upward. A hoplite-like incision into this newfound headgear reveals a new set of bright, burning embers where your eyes are. And you have become the new wild hunter.
sick.
And Talia is changed. Archimedes.
Yep.
The unicorn speaks to you. So, what do you think?
He looks at the two people who just changed in front of him. Looks at himself. I just wanted to return to my library and see the stars.
There is more knowledge here than in all the libraries of all the world. And I can see the stars right here.
And he looks around again. He looks up. Are these the real stars or the ones of your creation?
It's hard to tell. Sometimes. I promised you.
You did.
I still intend to keep that promise. I hope I have fulfilled it.
Anything, there's like a single like tear. Is he like his paw into the ground? I'm sorry, Father. Mother. You win.
It's not so bad. You seem quite competent in this form.
I would like to keep that competence.
I would allow you to continue having this form if you would serve me.
I serve you because I lost, not because I want to.
It's rare to find someone chivalrous who enters these woods. I'm glad you came.
Just looks up at the moon.
And the moon seems to have returned to a full moon. As though time had actually gone backwards. And you remain stuck. Alex?
Yes, my dear.
Do you think it's time for a wrap-up?
I think it is time for our epilogue.
As everyone would like. I would love if you guys gave just some remarks about how your characters continue existing in the ways that they have been transformed. Starting with Vesla.
Our researcher.
So did Vesla end up getting like just the scene we ended? I just want to make sure was them on the ground and pierced, but no transformation quite yet.
Vesla, you become the new Unicorn Knight.
Can I make it the way I want to?
Please take it away.
So the new Unicorn Knight, a entity that roams the forest to misdirect, to dissuade, to try to seduce other ideals other than finding the unicorn, rather than what has been seen before, someone who's gone crazy. This person is mostly silent with knowledge, unless it's to persuade others. But you see them fashioned in a long coat made of the hair of the atrium. Their hair did not change back from their rune, is now stark white and gone into the coat as they just almost glide around naked form other than the coat. Simply just an entity of confusion. The scars that were on their chest have now gone away, and now their birthmark that they were born with is now showing as they finally know the truth of what's happened, so they can rid themselves of the guilt. And I feel like they still give a nod to Talia. Still give a and if Archimedes wishes to speak, they will. But merely just roams.
That was lovely. How about
Talia, would you like to go next?
Talia rides a hellish elephant.
A elephant?
A elephant. Through the woods, and is, I would say, probably over the years becomes more and more mindless, but it probably doesn't take that long for her to become mindless in the first place. It's kind of a quick sort of, and she's just like, becomes this feral, bloodthirsty hunter, which she has always been, with a penchant for bringing confrontations down to one-on-one, hand-to-hand conflicts that she knows the other person can't win, purely for the pleasure of ripping them apart with her bare hands. And I suppose continues with that bloody, violent existence, just tirelessly chasing down her prey until she is replaced, like she replaced the last hunter. And does the very same thing, crawling towards them as though she can tear them apart before they pull her into the abyss.
Hell yeah. Archimedes.
I think Archimedes, anytime new travelers or adventurers or hunters, what do you want to call them, venture into the Bloodwood, they always feel like they're being followed by golden eyes. The smell of smoke follows them. And if they're not dealt with by one of the others, when he deals with them, he only deals enough damage to kill, sometimes ripping them apart remorsefully, and takes only their books and returns to the castle and places them there and sleeps with them there, staring up at the sky and at the moon that he's not sure if is real or not, as he keeps his sense but loses all hope.
And I would like to offer Dylan any remarks about Shane in this
Yes, please.
mound.
You did say in the beginning that we could talk about what happens to us or the life we left behind.
Yeah.
Or your absence is felt back at home.
Okay. For Shane here in the forest, there's not much, but the forest itself, there is no difference, or at least very little difference between the forest, the unicorn, and Shane. At this point, the only difference being that over the many years, if any of his former companions or anyone else who enters the forest does make it close to leaving, he will reach his one living hand into the dirt to change the forest and stop them. Miles away at the Earthen Council, Cyrus is thriving and lives a long and successful life in the seat that Shane should have took. However, he knows what Shane's promise meant. He knows that Shane always delivers on his threats. And so Cyrus lives that long and successful life with a constant anxious eye over his shoulder for a fight that never comes.
Lovely. I have one more thing to add for our dear friend, Depth, who could not join us tonight. There is no one to miss Teddy back at home. Her only friend who would have even noticed their absence was taken by the huntsman. With no one outside the forest missing them, and no one inside the forest caring enough to save them, they continue to serve underneath the hunter, as that imp revived, causing mayhem to any and all future adventurers who dare enter the Bloodwood.
Aw.
And that, friends, was the unicorn hunt.
Jesus Christ.
Hooray! We're trapped in an eternal hell matrix. How cool!
How
Hell
fun. How fun
Thank
and
you
cool is
guys
that?
so much for joining us. Such a delight. I think that we have a special announcement.
We do.
Oh, yes, we do.
Forgot about
A
that.
very important
Yeah.
announcement.
Yeah. Is that me?
Yeah.
If you want to do it, go for it. It's
Take
your
it away.
project, so.
Well, okay. So unicorn
The unicorn whore,
The
comma,
unicorn whore is dead.
I am the unicorn whore.
Hunt is over. We have done it, besties. Next week, same great time, same great place. We are
Next week? 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. I am a liar. So in 2 weeks, same great time, same great place. We are starting a new campaign. A new long shot campaign of Vampire the Masquerade called The Red Line. It is going to involve some of the people you see here, plus some others. And it takes place in the Empire State here in New York City. So I would really love to see all of you here.
So excited.
It's gonna be so great.
It'd be so wonderful.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been a huge honor to be the first long shot on the channel with several more in the lineup. And with me, I think in all of them.
Andre the Star.
Andre, the head of Longshot development.
Thursday is just called Andre time.
Andre
It's
Day.
Andre Day.
We're gonna rename it.
Andre.
Andre.
Don't say that too loud. Thor can hear you.
What's he gonna do?
Strike me down, Zeus.
Thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon for the Red Line. Goodbye, everybody.
Wow, holy shit. Bye, everybody.
Ugh. We're out. Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh shit. What the hell? Why did you say that? That's a lie. That's a lie. Oh wait. Hold on. Say that again? Yeah, fuck you, Sarah. Alright, you're out. Get the hell out of my stream. Y'all, I never want to run a stream ever again. that was horrendous. As far as just like tech, I felt like I whiffed it hard. I appreciate you. How? What? What the hell?